You are welcome to a fresh new week. A fresh week, a new week. Monday, the 26th day of December 2022. It's a Boxing Day. And we're expected to go all around to dish out gifts to people all around. And those are far away from us because it's the essence of the day to show love to one another. Monday, the last for the year, and this week, the last for the year as well. By this time next week, we'll be in the mood of New Year celebration. Once again, you are welcome to AM Cafe, the guest segment on Osbc Television. My name is Adeyemi Abodeni. On the program today, we are going to look at the menace of child trafficking, which have become one of the menace confronting the country. Almost on a daily basis, you read through the pages of newspapers, and you are amazed by what is happening around us. Child trafficking, child abuse. You see, you read, children being moved from one location to the other, probably, to use them as housekeepers, housemaid here and there, and so many ugly incidents of child being beaten to death for failure to do one thing or the other at their master's house. All these will be looked at on the program AM Cafe this morning. I have a social analyst with me in the studio already. His name, Mr. Yemi Badru, and together we shall be taking the voyage through the menace called child abuse or child trafficking. Let me welcome Comrade Yemi Badru on board AM Cafe this beautiful morning Boxing Day. I hope you are here with our package of boxes of gifts, for the staff in the studio here. Yes, Mr. Badru, I know, as a father, as a parent, you must have been, reading, hearing about child trafficking here and there. How do you see the menace? It continues to grow unabated, despite effort being put by government to checkmate this menace.
First and foremost, let me appreciate God for giving us another opportunity to be together this morning. And let me say Merry Christmas to all our viewers out there.
In arrears.
In arrears. Well, we are still in the mood of a celebration anyway. Honestly, child trafficking is a form of human trafficking. And when we are talking of human trafficking, we are talking of a movement of people from one place to the other, now deceitfully, for the purpose of a selfish gain or exploitation by some people. Now, and when we are talking of child trafficking and limiting it to a nascent topic, we've discovered that it continues unabated. Children are moved, as in deceived, to leave their homes on the promises that they will get better life, because virtually everybody wants a greener pasture, you understand? Better life, a befitting life. Now, and these children are deceived, even at times coerced, because their parents must have been promised one good thing or the other, and by that, without the real consent, without the consent of these children, because you can't tell me that a child, a minor, freely gave his consent, you understand, for a journey that he doesn't know anything about. Wow. So now these children embark on that journey, and they are abhorred by some other persons, you understand. They are recipients for the sake of the recipient's profitability,
Yes.
for the sake of the recipient's wealth maximization or profit, enhancement. You understand? So now, and when they eventually get there, they are turned to serve as a sex slaves, or they are used for marketing purposes, of which at the end of the day, the benefits is not coming to them, it's going to the person who is receiving them. And maybe part or little is eventually released or given to their parents or to their guardian. So it's a form of slavery.
Modern day slavery.
Modern day slavery, sir.
Modern day slavery.
Yes, sir.
When we look at this trend, child trafficking, which, like you rightly said, has been going on unabated. The question that will come next is, what are the reasons for embarking? You have said for profit making, but there could be more hidden reasons than what we are used to. What do you think are the hidden reasons, apart from the profitability aspect of it?
If I have to, expatiate more, oftentimes these kids are even used for ritual purposes.
Of course.
But the main and primary target of their recipients, their hosts, or the human traffickers or child traffickers, is for exploitation. As in, just because all human beings, want their wealth maximized, their profits enhanced. You understand? That's the basic, you understand, of getting involved in any investment. You understand? To the human traffickers, they believe that it is a form of their own business investment. You understand? But except now that it is becoming revealed to the world that basically, because ritualists, are now losing on the end of reaching out to the adults. You understand? They take advantage of the naiveties of the younger world. You understand? And when they see, as in, just let me say, some of them, not all of them, but some of them also have this ulterior motive of engaging this world not only for profit reasons, but for ritual purposes. You understand?
Mr. Badu, are we not looking at the case of engaging in organ harvesting of
you are right, sir.
Of the children as well?
You are right, sir.
And the ignorance on the part of the parents
you are right, sir.
Who release their children
you are right,
for
sir.
someone to take care for them.
You are right, sir.
Yes.
That's a part of it as well. But still, that one is also part of wealth maximization. That's why, because whether we like it or not, those who want to harvest, because I heard of a case like that I think in Abuja of recent, where a young child was didn't know when his kidney was harvested. You understand? And now say that I didn't give a consent to this. I didn't know that this. They just said that I have a minor. You understand? And the kidney is already gone. To be sold by these people at the cost of maybe 60 million or thereabout to some countries where they are on the high demand for it. You understand? But all the same, it is still the those who engage in it engage for such purpose and for their sake of wealth maximization. You understand?
Who is to be blamed for this menace that has become part and parcel of us in this part of the world?
Honestly, parents are to be blamed. Most of the things we see outside, most of the problems the larger society have begins with the home. For the sake of this program, I will give an example. There was a day I was at a family court in one of the states in Nigeria, and you know, 3 children were brought to the court. And then these three children were accused of having stolen, you know, people's, belongings. Most especially that day, they have stolen chicken. You understand? Meant to be eaten by a family. And when they were dragged to court by policemen, the judge demanded for the parents. You understand? When the parents came, and you know, when these children were asked, they said that their parents hardly, you know, provide them a means of a survival, that they are negligent and they don't care about what becomes of them. So, you know, the court hearing that, in fact, first said the parents should be remanded at the prison custody. So people are like, how will parents be remanded for the offense of children? As of the time, whatever decision the children make emanates from them, because they are the one who have duty of care.
The custody of the children.
Of the children. Now, it's just exactly the same way. Like I said the other time, a child cannot be assumed to have given his real consent for a trip that will affect his life positively or negatively. That's why, even in law, a child cannot be compelled or coerced into giving evidences in the court, because whatever they say might not have come from their genuine mind, because they are believed to be of unstable mind at that particular time, not until they reach the stage of adulthood. You understand? So the first person to blame is their parents. If they had provided these children either with sound education, morally, financially, and in every way, you understand? Educationally. Now, the children will desist from thinking, you know, of how to make quick money. Now, most of these parents also release their word, so that, when I'm talking of word, I'm talking of children, so that they too, they can get a means of survival, a means of fending for themselves. So that's why Yoruba people will say, now, that is to say, if the parents have laid their bed very well, they will lie on it very well. That is to say, if they have prepared for their own future will not affect the future or the life of their children. So, because the parents have neglected real things, important things they were supposed to have done well at their childhood or youthful days, now the effect is being felt on the children. And when it is now expanding to the society, they now say ara orokun, ara oradire. So, but the first to blame is the parents. I remember when we were young and when we were on campus, as in school, we see all manner of students. Some were very serious with education, some were very, very serious with their life, some were thinking of what will they do to become better than their parents. Whereas others are like, I'm going to Okawe, no one show you. So now when we see these things, on the rise, apart from the fact that there are some greedy elements outside, parental consent is also an issue to consider. Now, because in psychology, I study psychology at my master's level. In psychology, we believe that human behavior is a product of two cardinal things. It's a product of nature or nurture. Nature is biological, hereditary. Nurture is environmental. Now, apart from the fact that these children, who have grown in certain areas, have formed the habit of learning, because human behavior can be learned and unlearned. You may choose to learn, you may choose to, for instance, a child that grows or that is being raised at the motor park, there is every tendency for him to live the life of touts around there, because those are the people he sees on a daily basis.
He grew up in that
exactly.
environment.
And that's why possibly if you see a child growing up in the barrack, the first thing that comes to his mind maybe for the future is that I want to be a soldier, I want to be a policeman. Even in the school, if the way they work, the confidence in them may be more than that of a child raised by a civilian, a farmer, you understand, who is always scared of policemen. But this one, they live among policemen. They you know, they believe that, you know, policemen are human beings, they are parents. You understand?
Mr. Badru, let's look at the law. Is government doing enough? We agree there is an agency established by government against human trafficking, which include child trafficking. But the laws are there. Are they implementable? Are these people who engages in child or human trafficking, are they being chased accurately by the law established by government for these purposes?
Well, I want to commend government for introducing a lot of policies to curb this menace. Number one, realizing that we have a menace called child trafficking is even appreciable. You understand? We have a lot of laws, in fact, that are even hidden to so many people. The issue I have always had with our laws is what is called enforceability. Government have employed people to enforce this law. Leadership in every government cannot do everything. And that's why there is what is called division of labor. When the president is there administratively, you know, dishing out orders, or working towards the benefit of people, it is expected that some people who have been charged with the responsibility of representing the president or the governor perform their own task as well. If this thing is on the rise, the question should be thrown at those people. Why are you being paid? Why are you being paid with people's tax?
The taxpayers' money.
With taxpayers' money. Why you know you will not be able to deliver? Now, if the blame will now be shifted back on the government, if you have now noticed, or it has now been brought to your notice, that the people you have employed, because it is the government that employs people, you understand, or that appoints people in such leadership position, you understand? If the people you have employed to represent you for the enforcement of this law have failed or have been reported to be failing, you know, now the best, what have you done as our leaders? Have you taken a proactive step to curb them or to replace them? If somebody is inefficient, because not all of us have the same ability. There are people who have ability that are not appointed. There are people who don't have ability that are appointed, you know, for whatever reason. I don't want to go into politics because I'm not a politician. Now, but the issue is, if you have employed someone that is not representing you well, duty falls on you to replace such a person, remove and replace. So if they have not done that, then the blame will still be shifted back to the government.
Mr. Badru, time is not our friend on the program. On the last note, what do you think probably need to be done, you know, to ensure that this menace is contained?
Thank you so much, sir. My view is that all hands must be on deck. Let me start by talking to the parents this morning. If you allow anybody to sweet talk you into releasing your children for a business you yourself you have not done before, you might also be playing with the life and the future of your children and your own future. Because if it is something you have done that you know is legal, releasing your children will not be questionable. But when you release your child for the purpose, as in for an investment that you yourself you have not as an invested in before, then you are playing with your own future, and we are playing with the future of your children. So everybody, especially parents, must please from now onward only get involved in a business that you know is legal, and you know you yourself you have done legally. Now, Don't let anybody tell you that we have an investment somewhere. Your children will only be used as will be with us in the house and the like. You know, so I heard of a story of recent. I think it's even very, very recent, maybe last week or thereabouts. Do you know that? A parent released a child to a family, and in Ibadan, and then they started brutalizing this baby to the extent that the baby passed out, the baby died, and now the person involved, was just arrested, a pregnant woman, and try as much as possible, no matter what, be satisfied with what you have. Think of other means, devise other means. See when your parents are with you, it's better. Try to work it out together, how you will feed. God will provide for you. Then to government, I want to please charge you, our leaders, to please do more. Please, if the effect of the effect of your involvement is not felt, please try and engage better hands. And I think issue of child trafficking should not even be limited in the hand of a NAPTIP alone. You understand? I think we have a lot of security teams outside that can be used. Nigeria Immigration Service is there, Nigeria Police is there, and then though I know the civil defense is there, they can. They have people even in the local communities, even in divisions. You understand? And they are actively involved. Then NGOs should come in, rise to the task. Let them sensitize people the more. When anybody hear of child trafficking, they think what readily comes to their mind is that maybe what they are talking about is that when I put orange on my children, you have to market it. You understand? No, let people be more sensitized. Let people have basic knowledge. If not because we don't have time this morning, I would have even gone to explain more.
We will have the time the other when next you appear on the program to talk more. And I think the society we need to do something as well. We need to rally around to ensure that this menace is contained. We don't need to leave it to the government alone.
When we see a thing, we should say, we should tell police.
Not only say, we should act as well.
Act as well, yes.
As well. We should bring such a thing to the notice of the authority to ensure that we play our part in ensuring that this menace is contained. Well, I want to appreciate Mr. Yemi Badru, a social analyst, for finding time to come on board AM Cafe on a Boxing Day morning. I appreciate you, and we wish you New Year in advance. It's barely a few days to New Year. By this time on Monday, when we appear on the program, we'll be saying Happy New Year. Well, on behalf of the Director General Osbc, Mr. Rashid Folaromi, the Executive Producer of AM Cafe, Lasso Ibayo, and the producer, Shola Ogunleye, once again, I appreciate your presence on the program. My name is Adeyemi Aboderi. AM Cafe continues. We thank you for being here, and good morning.
But they're caught out, but the flag is up. Virgil van Dijk, with, of course, VAR to review it. Very much in the Arteta mould, playing from the back for Arsenal, and they've Worked it forward well. Here's Bukayo Saka. Out to Aubameyang. He's going to make another mark on a Wembley game. He has done.